Good evening, everybody. How are you guys all doing? Welcome to Wednesday, January 18th. Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry, Deana. I think we may have a problem.
Can you hear me now?
We can absolutely hear you now.
All right. Hey, everyone. It's been quite a week.
It has.
Quite a
It
weekend.
has indeed. So, as start off as we usually do, a quick reminder, everybody, if you get a chance to, by all means, join us at the Auto Activism Discord. This past week alone, a lot more information has been put in there and kept in there in regards to upcoming events, activities. For example, I believe tomorrow there's going to be a demonstration in front of City Hall at Confederate Park in regards to, pretty much privatization of our healthcare system. So, get more information, join us in the Ottawa Discord, Activism Discord, and see how you can help out if you can. It's tomorrow at noon.
So important to be there.
Absolutely. So, let's see what else has been going on. So, obviously, we're still maintaining our vigilant watch of the dear old convoy because, again, it's still... The boys just won't let go, Deana.
They just won't let go. We were able today, though, to take a little trip back in time into the summer, posting Carl.
That's true.
That was fun. It was fun to watch that again.
Yeah, there was a couple of videos there. I mean, well, that was that from the Parliament? Because
that was them in front of the hill. Yeah, when he had his megaphone and he was just having a full-on conversation. He was thinking out loud in his megaphone.
Yes, well, I'm actually planning on doing an updated version of that one. So I'm actually I picked up a new little tool, which is DaVinci Resolve. Now, I've always used DaVinci Resolve pretty much for all the video stuff I do, but I've got the studio version, which has all sorts of interesting additional plugins. So one of the things was being able to do the video stuff from my quick camera. But one of the other things that it has is a better voice isolation. And one of the particular things that kind of bugged me with that old video there that we of Carl was that there was a lot of wind noise. This should possibly help that out. So it's going to be one of those little side projects. Might get a little bit of time for that, which hopefully might be this weekend, since I don't think there's going to be much live streaming this weekend that we want to run off to go do. And it might take that time for us to do a little bit of sort of maintenance work and things that we need to do. Some stuff from the last event we need to improve, particularly in regards to what I did and how I want to make sure I can stream that a little bit better for you guys.
Yeah.
As well as some improvements in regards to even this show here, because as Deana is also aware, we're actually looking at changing the software itself. We're using one particular one right now, but both Deana and I were looking at the new one that we just picked up. Didn't have a chance to get it set up, but it's got a lot better options. It's going to look much nicer, and hopefully it's going to give you guys a nice, more fun experience. That's what we're kind of looking forward to.
You guys are being really kind. Sorry to interrupt you. They're saying really nice things. Yeah.
Well, it's because you have a fantastic shirt.
It is. Gunners made this shirt, custom made. I am wearing Gunners tonight, and I thought I'd do my hair up too, just for this event. Well, so thanks, you guys.
You always look fantastic. Like I speak for everybody in the chat in that. So
even when I'm dancing in my nightie.
There you go. You may get some requests from that now from the chat.
Yeah.
But remember, kids, we're trying to keep this from being taken down. So no. But tell us about, so I mean the shirt came from Gunners. It is fantastic. It is exactly as Ram Ranch as you can get. But a little bit more back to tying into Ram Ranch. So there is a bit more news in regards to what's going on in regards to the convoy coming back again. So there's still some rumblings in regards to it. In this particular case here, they want to do the 1 year anniversary from when the trucks came to the city. So January 28th, 29th, which is a weekend, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
They want to see if they get people there. They want to see if they can have a little celebration. I believe the gentleman here is Scott Cameron. In fact, I can probably confirm it.
Oh, Scott Cameron. Yeah. He's
So
a big Brian Dirksen fan. He even cried in court when Brian Dirksen was doing his monologue to the judge.
We'll get back to that because I
good
have a lot of
times.
questions about Dirksen having fans. So yeah, so he's come one, come all. How can you contribute? It looks like it's so he wants people to come bring positivity, love, and also he can bring food, drinks, jerry cans, toy trucks, signs. So it looks like he's organizing a barbecue, but he's asking everybody to bring everything because he's got nothing. And brings warmth, power for speakers. Our batteries will only last so long, so I guess he needs batteries too.
Yeah.
He's never traveled with me. So, and they also plan to sing "Oh Canada" on the hour, I guess at noon. So that'll be fun. And they're gonna have an open mic.
So I'm gonna show up with my megaphone and I'm gonna sing "Oh Canada" too.
Okay, I believe. Oh no, I none of that surprises me. So I mean, none of that surprises. I could see that. So there's already been some people already planning on arriving and going there. I believe our dear King Nugs has even mentioned that they're planning on going there and setting up their a chair right in front of the gates.
Oh, nice.
So if it's confirmed, they're gonna go. Oh, we'll probably. I'm pretty sure Dean and I will probably see if we can make our way there. It's a weekend. Why not? We know where it is. I know where there's free parking. We'll go see the show. We'll definitely live stream that one, especially if it's going to be the entire weekend. We'll probably go there back to back, or at least one of us will. I know I will. And so I'll probably keep that streaming for you guys the entire time with the action camera. At least depending on what's going on, we'll see if I bring the other camera along, but it's bigger, especially for that event where I'm not going to know the public as easily as much as kind of like in Peterborough. I want something a little bit more mobile. So we're keeping an eye on that one. We're also still keeping an eye on Jeremy Glass's event that's supposed to be happening between February 14th or 16th up through to the 19th. So this is the one he's where he's mentioned he's going to be there, and then
Are they competing?
No, I don't think they're competing. I think Jeremy Glass started before this guy. So Scott just wants to celebrate the truckers. Jeremy, I think, wants a 1 week trip to Ottawa, but he also wants to be there at the end of POEC. So they do the celebration and partying up to the 19th, and then the 20th is the report, and they're expecting to have a huge party as it's going to exonerate them.
Yeah.
They're going to see Trudeau in handcuffs. Freeland's going to go to the Hague. It's going to be a whole thing. Because that's what's going to happen. So,
all right.
Thoughts?
I'll be there. That is all. I have no thoughts. I just think it's interesting. They are ridiculous. You're absolutely right. They're ridiculous. But whatever. I mean, what do we say? What do we say about that? I got nothing.
Yeah. Well, you were going to mention a little bit more about Scott Cameron.
Oh, well, Scott Cameron, he is like hardcore conspiracy theorist. So Brian Dirksen put on about an hour-long monologue talking in the third person to the judge because he didn't want his charges stayed. He just really wanted to have his moment, and the judge was really good. But there was one point where Scott was like crying or trying to cry. It was really funny. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not laughing because somebody is crying. It was just so forced. That was the issue. Like, it was ridiculous. And then when we went outside, outside the courtroom, I said something to them. I don't even remember what it was. It'll come to me. And he just said, fuck off. And then this other lawyer that was standing there totally had nothing to do with it. He's like, he looks at me, he goes, did he just tell you to fuck off? And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a thing we have going. It is. It was funny.
You
Yeah,
make
Freedom
wonderful
Baby will be there.
impressions. Yeah. Oh, for sure.
People are
Freedom Baby
asking
will
for
be
Freedom
there.
Baby. Yeah, Freedom Baby will be there. Freedom Baby comes with me everywhere.
Oh yes, Freedom Baby. Well, Freedom Baby was in Peterborough. And
I
which
brought
we'll get
Freedom
to a
Baby to
little bit.
Peterborough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, no, you're allowed to. It's it's if it's a sincere cry, yeah, it's not really nice to laugh. But if it's a fake forced cry, fuck it.
Oh, they were putting on a performance. That's totally what it was. Oh, I remember what I said. I said, for the record, I would have loved to see this go to trial. And then he's like, fuck off. I'm like,
Oh, okay. So you did say something.
I did. Oh no, I did say something. I just couldn't remember what it was, but that's what it was.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. So as we move from the Freedom Convoy events, which is going to be on probably a Parliament, and actually both of them I think are both going to be a Parliament.
Yeah,
they're all
they
kind
really
of
like Parliament.
They do. Go down the street, down Rideau Street, and we actually get some local news and some activities going on in Ottawa. And so for all especially the Ottawa locals are following us, which are a fair amount, an icon of Ottawa is going away. This is the 99th Street Rideau Street McDonald's.
That's really sad. Not that I'm a McDonald's like advocate or anything, but that's like right where the bus stops. I don't know if the bus stops are still there, but that's right where the bus stops used to be.
Bus stops there. There's still some bus stops. Yeah.
When I was pregnant with my son, like 24 years ago, I would buy the ice cream during the summer. It was so hot, and it was only 50 cents for the ice cream at the time. I sound so old saying that, but it's only like $2 now, so it's not that big.
Well, do you know how long it's been there?
Probably for a really, really long, like probably since maybe the 70s. I feel like it was there when earlier or later?
Later. So this particular location, McDonald's, has been there for 38 years. It opened up in 1985.
Okay.
And it's been
so then the Harvey's was there since the 70s, I think. There was a Harvey's on Rideau. My mom told me, but yeah,
quite possibly. So I kind of remember the location and kind of when it opened up, because I believe it was around 85, which was roughly a little bit after when we moved to Ottawa. And I remember that was just around the time when they did a massive renovations of the Rideau Center, like a huge renovations of it. And shortly after, they put in the infamous canopies, bus shelters there. That there were these heated areas for people to wait for their buses when they were going through. Then there was a whole issue that there was homeless people. They didn't like that, so they got rid of them. And I believe they ended up. I can't remember though, but those shelters ended up moving to some other city, and they used it to turn into some sort of bus station. It was weird. But yeah, so it's been there for a long time. I mean, it was kind of decent there. It's always been one of the most profitable McDonald's, particularly during Canada Day. Like that place was
for sure.
It's calling in employees from all different locations, because that one day of the year, I believe they say like that one day of the year they make $1 million.
Well, you know how long it is to the cache when you walk in from the Rideau Street side, and it would be like, I think there was like 6 lines, and right from the cache to the doors, like it was packed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I remember because
you pass through there to get to the other side if you want, because there's a back door, right?
There was, yeah. There still is for now. Because I recall my sister, she also worked there. And when they while they were working there, she was saying like the lines were so massive during the Canada Day that they'd have the employees at the caches, and they would all be running the caches, but they'd have other employees running up the lines and writing down the orders, passing the paper, so that when they get to the cache, they could just punch the paper and go. The kitchen was just endlessly just cranking out all the food, because it really didn't matter. They knew all the food would go, no matter how much they had to throw.
It didn't matter. You make it 20,000 Big Macs. Who cares? Like it's gonna go. Yeah.
Even if at the end of the night you have like an extra 50 Big Macs, you've made $1 million that day.
Yeah, you feed your staff. That's what you do.
Yeah. You give the staff whatever leftover is there,
or the people outside. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Homeless
they
people.
won't.
Yeah.
You know that. I know
No,
that.
I know they won't, but that's a good idea.
Yeah. So, I agree. So sadly, the closures are occurring because it looks like McDonald's was starting to have a little bit of an issue in regards to that particular location.
Yeah.
So I mean, it got a little bit rougher. It got a little bit crazier. In fact, I remember this particular event happened about 5-10 years ago, and to me, it was kind of the pinnacle. Okay, this was kind of the signs of stuff to go wrong. So let me cue up the video here, and I brought it to the important point here. Oops. It's the infamous raccoon. It's the infamous raccoon incident where we've got right in the middle of this thing, right, and it's just the most bizarre thing. There's an entire brawl going on, and somebody has a raccoon because why not? And it's a baby raccoon.
Cutie.
So to me, I'm looking back at this, I'm like, the brawls were common. The brawls with raccoon were starting to get a little bit interesting. It was crazy. So I kind of get where it was started getting a bad reputation. People were even saying like they're avoiding to go in there now because it's always been sort of a dangerous place. That I remember seeing part of one of the interviews like, yeah, I'll get the McDonald's from there, but I'll get it through Uber Eats because there's no way I'm stepping in there, I'm afraid. So, but alas,
Yeah.
it's too bad.
Bye,
It'll be nice.
McDonald's.
Bye. It's an icon. It's gone. Well, what can we do? So, in more news, it appears World Unity, who's the group that's taken over the convoy, not the convoy to here. We have to be specific now because there's a lot of different convoys of Unity.
The convoy to Winnipeg.
This would be the convoy Unity to Winnipeg, which I believe, I can't remember who's running that one now. Actually, you know what? Let's let them talk about it. So here is Serena Freedom Bear in regards to whatever.
Hello. I am Serena Freedom Bear, and I'm popping in because we got some exciting news that we have launched our official site, the World Unity Convoy 2023, on our convoy pilgrimage to Winnipeg, Winterpeg as many of you call it. There was a site I shared yesterday was circulating that was a fake site that was put up. That is not our site. You can now go see we have officially launched it. So exciting news, the site's up. Thank you for your patience.
That's that.
If you're going to go to the site, make sure you go to the proper site because apparently there's some fake sites up there.
And as I was editing that video, I'm pretty sure I remember a reference in there where she said, yeah, we might have been accidentally sending you to the wrong site instead of fake site. To which I'm just like, that's just beautiful. That's just if you're one of the organizers and you're sending people to the wrong site, it's one thing if you're just misspelling the address or whatnot. It's quite another thing if you're sending them to the wrong site and you don't even have a site for them to be sent to because they were still working on it at the time. I'm like,
the miscommunication problem that the convoy people had right from the beginning.
It's more than just a miscommunication. It's just one of those miscognitive things, as in, like, you should know. You should know if you have a site or not before you even open your mouth. There's no communication involved. It's just recollection.
Well,
do I have a website?
I
No,
feel like I feel like they maybe their website people said, yeah, we're going to have it up today. And they assumed that it was up. And then they just started telling people the website is up and somebody was asleep at the wheel. Maybe. I have no idea.
They were
no idea.
Maybe.
It's up now. If you guys want details
Yeah,
on how
clearly
they...
now it's up. You can go take a look at it.
Have you checked it out? I haven't checked it out yet. Have you checked it out?
You sent it to me. I think you sent me
Yeah.
the info for it today.
Yeah.
So I haven't had a chance to go take a look at
Okay.
it. I'm sure some other people will definitely be scoping it out.
I'm gonna check it out. Apparently the logistics and stuff are there. So, or maybe not. Maybe they'll give that at the last minute. I don't really know.
No. She announced that there's logistics. All the information's there. It's
Okay.
very exciting. We should all go check it out and find out all the convoy routes and how to get together and it's
Where to send your
they're-
money.
where I didn't get so much into the information about the Sun money, but there's going to be shows and you can sign up to speak or to sing or do whatever you want. Again, they seem to enjoy them open mic nights, possibly karaoke.
I love karaoke. I'm going just for the karaoke. Love it.
Oh, I would not be surprised for you to go to karaoke. You get along well with the wife. She loves karaoke too. So
Oh,
I think you guys would
sweet.
have a blast. Oh yeah.
Okay. Girls' night.
Oh, I think she'd be down for that.
Nice.
Yeah, you ladies can go sing up a storm. I will not because I'm not good at the singing. I've been told by
You can
everybody.
drink.
Oh, I can do the drinking. That's not a problem. I can very well do the drinking. But yeah, I don't do the singing part too well. As I've been told, I have a bit of an offensive sound. Something about tone deaf.
Nice.
Yeah. So this brings up to more of our main time now. We lead up to Peterborough. So,
Yay,
gentlemen. Peterborough. We went down to Peterborough. Now, I don't have quite as much of the content as I wanted to show, but I wanted to also focus a little bit more on not just Peterborough. So, aside from Peterborough, and to be honest, I'm a little bit guilty of this particular thing. I wasn't aware of other places having as much because I wasn't really keeping track. I was kind of like, Deana, we're going to Peterborough. What do we need to get? I need to get this. And I'm sure there was a lot of stuff. Cookie Lady was fantastic in regards to getting the information out. It's just once you're focused on kind of activity, especially since we got up at like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, I got up and ready to the door for 5:30 in the morning, which meant you were up even earlier.
Yeah. I was up at 3:30 in the morning.
Jesus Christ!
Couldn't help it. I keep waking up at around that time. I can't help it. It is what it is.
You're nuts.
I need to be a farmer.
My farmers are still sleeping at 3:30. Yeah, but you're way before the crack of dawn.
Yeah.
We were up way before the crack of dawn. We were way out of the city of Ottawa before we saw sunlight coming up.
Yeah.
So we got all packed up. We got on the road and we got out there. But so it wasn't until we got back that we got to find out. As soon as sat back, I just got home, cracked open some more rum. I may enjoy a glass of those once in a while. And that's when I started seeing. Oh yeah, there was also BC Coquitlam. I'm gonna mess up the name every single time. Coquitlam, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
There's also Sault Ste. Marie.
Yeah, I heard that after.
Exactly, same thing. Yeah. Like Sault Ste. Marie was one. Coquitlam was another one.
The Calgary.
No, Calgary was the next day.
It was Calgary the next day. Okay.
It was the next day.
But there was like in the States too, right? There was in
the States. There was Dallas, and I believe there's Boston. So actually, here's a good way to find out. So this one has no sound. We did get it from. This is a collection from Mayor McCheese. Unfortunately, we had to kill the audio because it was music.
Baltimore.
As well as Dallas.
Oh, nice.
I believe the Coquitlam was at the beginning there. And here we're ending up in Peterborough.
Fascists, you bound to lose, man. You bound to lose.
It is true. I believe this is when our dear friend Crystal was leaving.
Aww.
It was a bit of a sad event.
No, it was a wonderful event. It was sad for her.
It was.
I made her smile though. Like she was getting
Did you?
pretty grouchy. Oh yeah, yeah. So I went up to her and just started like poking at her, and then she started laughing, and I'm like, yeah, because she was getting pretty heated in somebody's face. So I started like poking at her, and then she backed away and started laughing. It's on my feed. Then eventually,
Nice.
but and she was fine until she went back to her car and started to cry. Nobody could hear her because the Bluetooth was on. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah.
I'll
It's
check that. I'm going to learn from her mistake because I'm sure I will do that at one point. That's funny.
yes, but chances are though, if you're doing it, you're not going to be in the back seat of the car,
Yeah,
away from the
true.
Bluetooth to be heard.
Right,
You
right,
tend
right.
you tend to drive your own car. But it's but yeah, it was a it's kind of hard to hear when she's not quite connected to the audio, so we can't really comment on it too much.
Mhm.
Yes, Mayor, I did make that suggestion because I thought it was an absolutely fantastic song, and I totally enjoyed it.
What song?
Unfortunately, I'm also twitching it to sending it to the Twitch on both this and YouTube, so I didn't want to really risk too much the copyright music.
Oh,
I
getting
thought
kicked. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I did think it was an absolutely fantastic collection, and it's a fantastic video
can
for sure.
can somebody link it into the chat if it hasn't been linked into the chat mayor's thing, and then everybody can go check it out and they can retweet it and whatever.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it was pretty well done. So we went down there. So to give you a little bit more expansion, we went down there again. It's a 3-hour road ride. I know what I didn't get a chance to get prepared. Well, there was we had a small stop we had to do along the way. Because Deana, not even at the event yet.
I forgot. I need to deal with that. Oh shit.
Yeah, not even at the event. We're driving down the road. Let me see if I can get the photo of that.
Did you get it? Did you get a picture? You seriously got a picture? That's friggin' fantastic. That's friggin' fantastic. Yeah, Dialect Girl was there, but on our way there, I guess my steel toe boots were a little bit heavy on the pedal. And I didn't know cops could do this. So fair warning, everybody. They tag team and they'll be driving in the opposite direction and they will gun you. And then another cop car. And I was like, oh, cop car. So I'm thinking, okay, the cop car is gone like I do on the 401. So I'm driving some more. And then the other cop turns around and pulls me over. So we had to stop. But he was really great. He did it really quickly because normally they pull you over and you're sitting on the side of the road for like 20 minutes.
Shouldn't think he was really quick when we were waiting.
Well, I was worried. I'm like, come on,
he's going to take forever.
Yeah, because I honestly thought they were going to take forever. But no, he wrote the ticket and sent us on our way. And good times, good times. You got that picture?
True. I do have a picture.
What did you take a picture of the cop?
No, I didn't take a picture of the cop. So what I have is...
Did you take a picture of my odometer so that I can bring it to court and show that I wasn't going as fast as he said?
No. I'm not sure. Nope, that's not what I want to show. So there we go. So that's pretty much... it's kind of hard to see.
I saw that. Yeah. My windshield is pretty dirty.
Through the windshield, we have the you can see the cop car that's right there. He's giving us kind of a look as he's writing up the ticket. As my wife wonderfully said to us when I got back, I said, yeah, so as we're going up to the Peterborough, and it's just like, I told her, like, yeah, as we're going to Peterborough, and Deana got a speeding ticket, and she's like, so you guys went down there and the only incident was a speeding ticket? Sounds like a good day.
It worked out. Yeah,
it worked out well.
It worked out well.
It could have gotten much worse. And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of true. So I mean, some of the highlights I wanted to show from this also because while we were there, Deana wasn't with us. She was sorry, not Deana. You were Deana. You were there.
I am.
Camilla wasn't with us, but we had a little bit of Camilla's artwork with us the entire way. So
Camilla's coming to the next one. I had my reservations because, you know, Peterborough can be dangerous.
We had no idea.
Yeah, we had no idea, but somebody even tweeted that Peterborough is has the highest hate crime violence, I think, nationwide.
Yeah.
I retweeted that. So we were a little bit worried. I was not expecting the amount of people, so I thought it's probably better to leave Camilla at home. Totally regret it. I think she would have she would have loved it. So she's definitely coming to the next one. Yeah, for sure, she's coming to the next one.
No, absolutely. She so it and I totally agree with everything.
Look at that. There's only 81,000 people there, and it has the highest hate crime per capita. Can you imagine? We have 1 million people in Ottawa.
No, absolutely.
That's crazy.
There's and having talked a little bit more, so, and I'll get into that a little bit more later, but, you know, having had a chance to also talk a little bit more with some of the people from Peterborough as to what's going on, there is a bit of a more significant religious, religious movement, not so much religious movement, but it's just, religious people in Peterborough. Hence, so, I mean, we saw King Nico and Crystal and the gang sort of
They're
do
from
their
Brampton,
protest.
though.
They're from Brampton, but that was the group you were conversing with when you were in front of the library. So what I did remember seeing was over to the left side, because I did do my run up and down, across the street on the other block. There was another group there, and it looked like the quarter one. And this is where we saw the Reverend that was local to Peterborough and some of the followers.
There was the Friar guy too. You remember the guy with the Friar?
Yeah, exactly. And they were hanging around the section there where we got to the Save Canada kids, and they were in the same section there too. So they were in the other section there. But, you know, so if you've got, and now obviously at this particular protest, you're going to get the worst of the worst thing out there within your town. And much the same way as you know, there was the protesters that were there. Luckily, there was, the Guardians, is what they called, which I thought was a fantastic name. The Guardians, the Protectors of the library.
Yeah.
Outnumbered them, and it was at least 10-1.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
When we drove up there, I was just like, what are we even looking at? This is amazing. Like, it was amazing. It was totally amazing.
Well, hang on. Before we got to that particular reaction, we were like, all right, well, do we know where it is? Do we know where to find it? Are we sure? And suddenly, Deana looks over and she sees, she's like, I think we found it. Just huge crowd. So
it was a sea of people and flags, and it was like happiness, and like, it was just lovely. It was so amazing.
Yeah. And it was up to that point I was kind of nervous too. And this is not something I told anybody till now. So, hey, secret. I was kind of nervous because I wasn't sure if there's going to be turn up. I mean, and this is something that was huge in regards to something that you and I've mentioned on this all the time, which is show up. You know, if you want to make a difference, you want to do something, show up.
Yeah.
And it was phenomenal to see. You know, everybody showed up there. Everybody that was local showed up. People from out of town like ourselves, we came down because we heard, and as well as some other areas, we showed up. You know, it was cute because I remember being in the crowd. One of the people there was commenting on the people from Save Canada with the Save Canada hats. It was like, oh, I can't believe you drove 2 hours to come here. That's ridiculous. And I'm like, I drove 3. And she's like, yeah, but you're on our side. That's good. I'm like, okay.
Well, yeah, there's a big difference between driving out for hate and driving out for love, I guess, is like.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. Absolutely.
What?
Exactly. I mean, I will never have a problem to drive out there although I didn't do the driving this time, but, you know, to drive out to any of these locations, you know, especially for something like that. And we even got a fantastic lunch.
It's wonderful.
It was wonderful.
It was amazing.
It was incredible. If you
Terry is awesome, by the way. Thank you, Terry.
Terry is absolutely fantastic. So was Colin. We got to meet them both in person. Obviously, Clayton And I definitely know Tina by now.
Yeah. Awesome.
But yeah, so I mean, so when we got there, we got to meet them for the first time. They're fantastic people. And the cafe itself. So shout out to the local cafe there, which is called The Only Cafe.
Yep. All sandwiches and a couple of breakfast items. So good. Well, my sandwich burnt my tongue off. I had the mushroom jerk sandwich, and
yes, yeah,
I forgot that there was jerk in there. I was wondering why my tongue was going to fall off, but Terry reminded me.
The only thing that we found as a little bit of a surprise is and if you're local, the cafe. Unfortunately, our asses are not local. So when we're looking for a sign for a place called The Only Cafe, and we're not finding the sign because the signage is not standard signage, it's a wonderful piece of artwork that has has a title in it. We got lost, so it took us a little while. Luckily, there was a local there that pointed our dumbasses to the right place, and we were quite thankful for that. So that was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. But going back to the actual protests, and one of the other things we wanted to discuss was one of the other instances that was there too, which was something that somebody mentioned, because there was these particular individuals, the ones I was referring to, with the Save Canada hats. So,
and I found out that they are minors. Like, I know they went to high school, but I thought these kids were like in grade 12, 18 or something. No, I think, what are they, like 16 or something?
I think they're I think they're 17 from my understanding. So
these guys are definitely bullies in their school. 100% bullies. They showed up wearing their suits. They, like, I think that's what they wear all the time. They are just, I don't know.
You think that? Hang on. So we're gonna show the video here in question, because somebody was saying, they were saying that they were, that they weren't causing any ruckus within the lineups. And I'm like, well, I know they were, because I was standing right in front of them when they did it. So allow me to.
Yeah, they were causing problems, and then they would try to say that they were minors, as if people can't defend themselves against these little minors.
There's kids coming right now. Hey! Are you going to do anything? There's kids coming. There's kids coming.
So one thing here, cops did nothing in regards to the kids.
No, of course not.
So that was kind of disappointing. This lovely lady with the Red Wings, by the way, is completely offside, no tangent. She's the one who gave me permission to be there in regards to traveling 3 hours. So very, very nicely. I never got a chance to get her name. But if you're local from Peterborough and you know who she is, tell her I say hi. I think she's wonderful.
So Lightly is saying that Josh got suspended for 2 months for harassing, bullying his trans classmates. He's back now, but only allowed to attend the classes those students aren't in. What a friggin' dink. Go to school, learn, and shut the fuck up. Like, that's all it is. Like, why do you have to be a piece of shit? He's a piece of shit. And I don't care if he's a kid. Like, his parents taught him wrong, and he's acting out, and he's being a piece of shit, and he knows he's being a piece of shit. He thinks he's powerful and he can do that sort of thing. When we first got there, I went straight up to them because they were pushing into the people. They were like right on them and pushing. I'm like, why are you pushing? Why are you trying to push them? You little shit. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're that kid from that school, aren't you? Anyway, I know, like, I did feel bad that I'm yelling at this minor, but watching this, like watching that and seeing that they were actually getting physical after, it's like, come on.
Yep.
Like, where were his parents? Were they there? I have no idea.
I don't know. And again, I mean, there's kind of looking at the video at the end, because I was actually there with them at the end, since we were kind of blocking before, keeping the entrance away. So we didn't even quite realize, but Deana and I kind of helped in regards to keeping the front area of the library kind of clear. And it was mostly the locals that did a fantastic job with that. We just ended up helping out in regards to you kept Crystal busy because
Yep.
you're hard to miss. And a lot of locals like I said, did a fantastic job in keeping those kids at bay and away from the kids. And I kept on kind of trying to keep the camera on them, which worked
Guaranteed that kid's going to be in jail. Like he's definitely like this was a pass for him, but guaranteed he's going to be familiar with the penal system. 100%. He's dangerous. He is dangerous. He's dangerous.
Yeah, I don't.
He's dangerous. I see it in his eyes. He's dead. He's dead behind those eyes. He's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm more concerned of what I think might occur, and it might not be sort of. He might not be the kind of hardened criminal kind of thing that's going to go. I think it's going to be something even more annoying, and that's in regards to. Again, I don't want to get too much into it because I mean he's a minor. We have to give sort of the
minors can go to jail too.
No, they can, but we're supposed to. We should give every minor, no matter what, and no matter who, chance because I mean everybody can do some stupid mistakes. That's fine. I understand what you're saying. I understand exactly
when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. I believe him. Yeah.
That's fair.
I believe him.
I know. It's going to be, and I mean we're gonna see, more than likely. Well, it's not the first time we've seen him.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm not, but I hope I'm wrong. Anyway,
so
moving on.
It's not the first time we've seen him. So it's we've seen what do I call it? He was there also at Renfrew. I think he was the one that started the Renfrew one. With that's the one that had Chris Stacey. We were talking about going to that one, but we didn't.
It was on the Friday. Yeah, it was on the Friday that Trudeau was. No, he might have been at that one, but his was in Owen Sound. What? Why am I forgetting which one it is? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Brantford.
No, it's where he goes to the school, I think, or he went to the school where the teacher has the prosthetic.
That's not Brantford?
No, it starts with an O. It's not. Is it Oshawa? I don't remember. Somebody might tell us here. I can't remember. But anyways, I know that in Renfrew there was a great turnout there as well. So anyway, Trafalgar. Yeah, Trafalgar. Where was Trafalgar again, though? I don't remember what.
St. Catharines?
I thought it started with an O. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's like we should just move on. It's 10:15. We've got lots of footage to cover.
Not quite as much footage.
No. Oh, okay.
We're still because we allocated quite a fair amount of time for Peterborough.
Oakville, maybe.
Oakville. Thank you, Linda.
Yes.
Yes, Oakville. So I also allocated a fair amount of time for this because we've had the 5, but I did not prep this other one. But there was also the Calgary one, which also had a little bit of some kerfuffle there. Now, I'm not going to say it went wrong because it could have just gone incorrectly in the sense of they made some mistakes. So some of the supporters of the drag show were also removed by the police for trespassing. Okay. And I'm the nice guy, I admit it. It could have been a mistake. But they, so the point being still, there was a lot of good stuff that happened this past weekend, but we still need to keep an eye on it because I don't think they're going to give up anytime soon in regards to these drag time stories. I think they, like Crystal kind of made it appear in her post-event thing. She's not happy with the turnout. She's not happy that they were outnumbered 10-1. Who would be? They're probably going to sit back and reevaluate. I'm sure a few of them are going to get their heads together and start thinking of some new plans and strategies to try to get something better. Maybe they might start focusing on a single event. Maybe they try to surprise these events. Who knows? I'd rather not say too much. I don't want to give them ideas. I'm too smart, and I don't want to give them ideas.
They're not. They don't care. They're going to keep coming. She keeps being told by her followers that she's a hero.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to have that hero complex, and she will keep showing up.
I don't doubt she's going to keep showing up. But what I am concerned about is this particular strategy that they've been using up to this point hasn't been working out too well at all. I mean, especially the last one, they barely made a vocal dent on anything. The amount of people, again, watching it within Peterborough was so fantastic. We were
same with BC.
Same with BC. Oh yeah. But it was so overwhelming that they did a fantastic job with the bodies of the Guardians to make a safe path for the parents and the kids. It was amazing. Between the flags and the people just being the shields there was fantastic. And so that energy needs to be maintained. And I'm just worried that these guys are going to be trying to do something more reckless. That's all.
I don't know. Reckless, like sliding down your stairs all drunk and stuff?
Yes. Yeah, well...
That was pretty funny. I thought for sure
out of order, but yeah, I'm gonna go out of order.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna play it.
I do. So,
if you guys haven't seen this is hilarious. It's just so stupid.
Once Crystal and company were kind of done with the convoy, they went home, and I don't know if it was this day or the next day.
These are God's people, by the way. You guys ready?
Now,
this is what God's
these
people
are God's people who. And I feel this particular video sort of encapsulates their entire concept on vaccines, vaccine mandates, and risks and threats, and kind of shows,
so much alcohol, so much cannabis, so much cigarette. Like, give me a break. Give me a
and so
break.
Little forethought.
It's
and
so
that's
stupid.
where I'm like, yeah, there's so little forethought going. I know better. And it just kind of comes to its own ending that's kind of sad and predictable. Well, just predictable.
Listen, we're good.
Okay, ready?
We're totally good. Listen, we're totally good. We're gonna go.
Linda.
We're gonna go. Listen, Linda. Listen.
Wait. Take the phone. Stop. He's on the phone. I have no voice.
He does. He has.
Yeah, from the back view.
I'm so scared.
Wait for it.
No fear. Is that the same sign?
No fear, bitch. No fear. Here we go.
Okay, ready?
Okay. Okay, one.
Protect our legs.
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Okay, ready?
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Oh my god.
I'm recording. Yo, keep playing, eh? We love you. Record us.
Oh shit.
Okay, ready? No fear. Fuck fear.
Yo, fuck fear, man. Fuck fear. Okay.
Yo, Tristan, come on.
Yo, let's go. Let's go.
I can't. I just can't.
Oh, I can't breathe. Oh. I can't breathe. It hit me. Oh, guys, I can't breathe. The banister hit me. Oh, no.
The banister hit me.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, in the fucking ribs. I can't.
My fucking ribs. I'm telling you, she cracked a rib. I'm telling you. And so the next one that she comes to, she's gonna scream and it's gonna crack again. Like it takes about 6 weeks to heal a cracked rib.
It's true. So between now and March, yeah, she might break it while screaming. That would be kind of funny, but yeah,
I don't
it's
even know what to say.
again, it's to me.
Hopefully
It's
she
just,
doesn't get COVID.
yeah, it's true, eh? The to me, it's the whole thing's like a macro version of just their entire
Logic.
view on logic and everything else. Like I know everything better, so you know what? Fuck you all. I'm gonna go down this thing at full speed and watch me go. Thud. Good job. You've
They had another video where they went down the stairs from the second level to the first level, and then they went and did the first level to the basement.
And here's my problem. I think that really really confuses the fuck out of me in
Tobogganing
this
for
one.
Jesus.
Yeah, tobogganing for Jesus for sure.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus almost took her knee. So these people fought for freedom because they didn't like being locked in and COVID on the inside. So instead of going outside in the winter where there's snow everywhere, and I'm sure there's a fucking hill where they could have had as much tobogganing fun as they want. No. They decide to stay in the house
And yeah,
and toboggan.
it's good. It's a good show.
But
This is the master race, people. That's the master race. You want to grow up to be them.
What? I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, these guys are a little painful. I mean, it's I'm just like, what? Anyways, it's yeah. So I mean, these guys are injuring themselves. They're doing dumb stuff. It's just for themselves is pure blood. Is
Way to go, Nikki. Way to go, Crystal. Way to represent.
Yeah, pure blood is gonna be
Isn't
all over
like,
the basement floor.
but we hear about these parties that the convoyers have had, where there's, you know what I mean, like, and they're even like talking about it on their streams and stuff like that, and it's just ridiculous. Josh Bigger is like probably drunk 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, just, you know, bleh. These guys are ridiculous. Like, they're just ridiculous. I mean, I don't care. People can drink.
I know. I think it's part of his character shtick. I think it's his character. He might be in some, but I don't know. I think he's also egging it up and amping it, playing with it to sort of, because you know he's making money from it.
Oh, and Kellyanne Wolf. Let's not forget about her. She's not doing well. She's not doing well right now. I hope there's somebody who's able to check in on her. She is not doing. She's spiraling. She's not doing well at all. It's,
no, she's a different one. It's a sad, concerning one.
He's on a sobriety journey right now. So, yeah, somebody who's on a sobriety journey means that they, I would think that they were excessive with their drinking. I think so. Maybe those videos that I saw were telling me. I was a bartender for 20 years.
I shouldn't doubt.
I mean, you can act drunk, but you can also be very drunk, and there's a look to it. So
that's true. There's some definitely some. I'm not aware of them as much, but there's definitely some non-conscious cues or visual things you're going to do that you just, as a person who would be around drunk people, would know for sure.
So Kelly had a court appearance this week. That's right, and I think it was. It's the next one is in March. Vaccine Baby. It's been moved to March. I feel like.
Yeah, I've heard a bit about her. She had her court appearances, but I don't know if, I believe there's a bit of a pump up for it. I know her and Chris Sky are right now big on their court appearances happening up. right now going on.
Oh, there's that poster with all those people on it, with the Where's Waldo poster. What's how Chris Sky is hosting something. What the heck was that? That again?
So
Excuse
yeah,
me.
so we can I can see if we
Do
can
you
bring
have
that
it?
one up there. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't think I have it here. And if anybody's trying to send me anything on Discord, I have to shut down because the notifications were getting in the way of my controls. I know where I can find it. Her favorite cookie lady. She's really good for those. But anyways,
I think Cookie Lady's taking some time off. I don't know
she
if she
has taken some time off.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
usually
her next. Sorry, Kellyanne's next date is in February.
yes.
Okay.
But so yeah, it's
Keep
called
posted.
Reunite Ontario on the 18th. I don't have that particular image you're talking about. It's the one with a horse head. I remember that.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna
I
be-
sent it to you on Messenger. I can send it to you again if you want.
Oh yeah,
I did it in the,
yeah, send it
in
to
the
me again.
group. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, send it to me again, and I'll be able to pick it up there. As soon as I figure out where my stuff is. Yeah, so it's going to be on the 18th. And again, this is no different than, I think this is the Toronto crowd and the Toronto adjacent crowd trying to sort of get their event to go. They're not going to bother going to Ottawa. There's not as much thing. It's kind of far away. So they're going to try to build up sort of a party going there. And then, you know what? There's a fair amount of people that are Toronto adjacent. And so I'm looking at some of the lists here, like, Crystal Peters and Nico, for example, who we see at the shows. They're pretty close to Toronto. So, there we go. So for them, it's not a huge stretch for them to go there.
I can't believe people still align themselves with Chris Sky. It's so ridiculous.
Well,
Some pretty disgusting people in the convoy, and these people say that they're none of these things: racist, misogynist, whatever, that it's not part of the movement. But these are the people bringing them out: the racists, the misogynists, like the most disgusting, vile people are the ones who are able to draw the crowds. Like, you guys know who you are. Don't fucking lie. You know who you are.
So I mean, there's some interesting faces in that group there too. I mean, obviously there's like I said, there's Sky, there's Nico.
Is that Maxime Bernier?
I was about to point him out. I'm pretty sure that's Maxime Bernier right there.
Oh Lord.
And that kind of reminds me of the video we just finished watching in regards to Crystal and Nikki there. Because she was saying, fuck Trudeau, yuck. But if I remember correctly, she also said fuck Pierre. And so I was wondering, like, was she meaning Pierre Poilievre? Like, is she, all the way into PPC territory, which is fine. You're still in the crazy territory. It is what it is. I was a little confused when somebody told me Sky was that photo. I couldn't tell if it was in the front or in the back.
Well, it's his name at the top. Oh, he's the. I think that's him in the back.
I thought that was him right.
Yeah, that's
I thought it was him right here.
Oh, ha ha ha.
Expecting somebody to do a face swap between the two. Most of these guys I'm also looking at, like, yeah, you got a big list of names, but a lot of these guys are also locally area. So it's not surprising they want to do their next sort of event in Ontario, in Toronto. And I don't know if Ford's daughter is in that photo. I don't know if anybody can tell if she's in there, because that would make sense if she's there too. She's also an anti-vaxxer. She's quite pro anti-mandates or whatever.
Awesome.
Nothing that's surprising.
Nope.
Nothing of that is surprising. So there's that. We're kind of tracking it. I don't think either of us are actually looking at going down to that particular event, because that would be
who Doug Ford reminds me of? Honestly,
Doug Ford.
Yeah. We were talking about Doug Ford, right? You said Doug Ford's daughter.
Doug Ford's daughter. So yeah, it's good. Well, yeah, I mean they're gonna be at Queen's Park. So
Well, Doug Ford reminds me of Animal Farm, and he's definitely one of the pigs. Like I'm not even saying that because of how he looks. He reminds me of a pig from Animal Farm. Yeah. Like
Well, the
that's
pigs-
what I see when I see him. Like I can't even help it. I just associate the two.
well, what did I guess like it's been a while for me. What did the pigs associate? What were the
The
pigs
pigs were
associated
the
with?
ones who took over government, basically convinced all the farm animals that they were going to save them and that they just needed to put their trust in them. And uh, basically, they hoarded all the food and everything else and whatever, like the usual government structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah, he is the pig. I mean, that's exactly what he's doing. I mean,
Mhm.
it's nothing to reference to his physical appearance. It's everything you just said is describing exactly what he's doing. He's
Yep.
cut down the healthcare. He's gonna say he's gonna save all the animals. He's gonna save the Ontarians.
Yeah.
He's gonna make things better. He's gonna build back better while he's cutting down all the services and keeping the money where we don't know where the hell it is. While he's cracking open the green space and giving it all away to all his buddies. Yeah, he is the pig. You're
Totally.
absolutely right because it's hard not to think of him as that when he's
I
doing
can't.
everything the pig did.
Yeah, I can't. He's like that is every time and I don't know. He just seems to be getting bigger and bigger. Like and so it's very representative because he's beefing up because he's just so like he's hoarding
Mhm.
he's hoarding everything. You know what I mean? Like I just that guy. I can't believe Ontario didn't come out to vote. You guys need to like if you're from Ontario, you can't let this happen again. And we need to go protest in every city. Like this guy, I can't even believe he's getting away with the shit that he's getting away with. It's fucked up.
It's because we let him.
Yeah.
Ontario, if you didn't vote, you let him.
Mm-hmm. So disappointing.
It is.
He got voted in without a platform, not once but twice, and he kept his mandate letters a secret. And CBC actually went to court to force the mandate letters to be revealed before the next election. This should have been a clue for everybody that he would try to hide it. Should have been enough to get people out to vote. And I think the way that it happened was the court date was postponed, so it wouldn't have come out anyways until after the election. And then after the election, CBC lost. So we never got to see what his mandate letters to his, what do you call them? I want to say officers. It's not
Donors?
officers. Cabinet members.
Oh, his cabinet.
Or his cabinet. Yeah. So, like, come on, Ontario. Come on. I mean, for sure, he's not going to make it again. There's no fucking way. This guy's an idiot.
No, it's
People will come out to vote this time, but make sure you do and don't get complacent.
Well, it's important for us to also. I know I vote. I know Deana votes. I
Definitely
know many
vote.
of you guys vote too. But it's
Get your kids to
important.
vote.
Yeah, it's important if they're legal age. It's important for us to also work on making sure other people vote.
Mm-hmm.
So the entire goal, especially the CPC right now, is the demotivation of the public. Almost nobody, there's less than 50% of people showed up to vote in the Ontario election. This is a terrible thing. Are the Conservatives going to do anything about it? Fuck, why would they? 80% of the people voted them into power. All they hear is that they got voted into power.
Yeah.
So, could the additional 50% change the election outcome? Quite possibly. That's a huge enough number to make that kind of difference. So, it's important for us to, every single person individually, to make sure to get as many people as you know to go out and vote.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these things are as simple as to, talking to people, getting them to rile up a little bit to get them to get involved. And another good trick that somebody also mentioned was making an event, making a group event. We're all going to go out voting together at this time on this day, or we'll all do it together on the weekend because it's advanced polling. There's usually a month build up to that point where you have all sorts of choices as to when you can vote. So the idea is to try, if you are that kind of inclined to go out and to vote, get a few people who are also that kind of inclined to vote, and try to get as many people who are not as inclined to vote to come with you guys to help.
It's just people will come out this time because they're going to be so angry about healthcare and everything else. But I just want to remind everybody, like, and this was the stupidest thing ever, that everybody was so angry because of Hydro 1, which is like so petty. It was so dumb. And as a result, we've lost our funding to education. He's dragging his feet on the $10 a day childcare. He is gutting our healthcare system, like the most fundamental things.
He's
the most
redirecting
fundamental things that
he's
we need
redirecting
as humans.
everything.
He removed rent control, and so now rent is like 3 times what it was before he took office. Like, you name it, he has fucked it up. And these are our most basic needs, all because of some idiotic bullshit for Hydro 1 that still could have been corrected by the Liberals. Like, they could have been held accountable. He's like, I'm going to do an audit on how the Liberals spent their money. They did the audit. No, they did do the audit.
Oh, sorry.
Guess what? The money that the Liberals said that they contributed to the education system was actually, in fact, contributed to the education system. The money that they said that they were contributing to healthcare was actually contributed to healthcare. That's why people didn't really hear about it. That's right. And he proceeded to go fuck everything because he was playing the, I'm going to hold them accountable. For what? Fuck. You're holding all of us accountable for your idiocy. Like, we're struggling now. And then stupid people want to try to blame Trudeau. Yeah, it's happening all over the country. Guess who's in power all over the fucking country? We're hearing about it in Alberta. Look who's fucking managing your province, people. Get a fucking life.
It's true. I mean, one of the big ones I recall. Like when it comes to it, I mean, we know he's not. He's going to. I mean, he's dumping every single goddamn fucking dollar he can get his hands on building highways, which is going to be built by private contractors, and so therefore private businesses are going to be getting that money. He's slicing up the Greenland to be developed because it's close to Toronto, and that's all going to private developers, which are going to be donors. And there's absolutely no guarantee for those things to be affordable housing. They're just going to be more expensive.
They're not going to be affordable housing. We know full well they're not going to be affordable housing. We know exactly what this plan is. And to add to the fact that I was going to say something. So you were talking about building the houses on the green belt, the highways,
money contractors on the highways.
And then God. So I don't pay for Spotify, you guys. I don't pay for the little luxuries of life. The only thing I pay for extra, other than my internet and my cell phone, which is all business expenses, the little pleasures, all I have is Netflix. That's it. I don't have cable. I don't have any of that stuff. So I still will listen to apps or whatever for free, which means I get inundated with commercials. And every single damn commercial break is for Ontario residents to go if they want surgery or cancer treatment or any of those sort of things. No problem. You can go to Massachusetts. You can go to Boston, Massachusetts to go get your fucking health care. Tell me that's efficient. Tell me that makes fucking sense. It gets my goat, man. I'm so fucking pissed off. And every time I hear it, I just want to, I don't know, find the pig that's in Queen's Park and slaughter him. I don't mean it like literally, okay? I'm not trying to kill the fucking premier. but you know what
you're
I mean.
trying to you're trying to throw him out of power.
He's not actually a pig either, so that's
You don't know if he's
anyway.
furry. You never know. We don't judge.
Maybe
But no, he's
politically slaughter. You're absolutely right. There it is. Politically slaughter the pig in fucking Queen's Park.
Yeah. So we're gonna. This is gonna be sort of the discussion points of while we watch him sort of mess up everything for the next couple of years, and it's gonna be on us to make sure that and not just
We
us
can do
here,
it.
everybody.
The unions did it. The unions fucking stopped him in his tracks when it came to the EAs and stuff. So
That's true.
we can do it. It's time for the unions now to back the nurses and the healthcare workers. So
Well, unions are. I've
he's not
worked with
allergic to
unions.
bees.
Yeah, I've worked with the unions, and unions are very much a fraternity. So they'll always back each other up. So
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
too worried
good.
about that.
I hope they're all going to be at the protest on tomorrow at noon.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Where's that protest going to be again? What did you say?
So it's tomorrow at noon, noon to 1, and it's always maintain as much as we can auto activism. If you always find out some new information about new events, let us know in there. I will make sure that I get it added into the events listing. We'll keep the listing there. You guys can always browse to see what's coming up. We've got everything in regards to that, in regards to the events, like this particular one coming up tomorrow at noon, as well as we're keeping maintained in there the convoy stuff.
So,
and
but
also,
with the protest tomorrow, is that at the courthouse or is that at City
it's
Hall?
at Confederate Park. Yeah, it's at Confederate Park, which is across from City Hall and the courthouse.
Right. Okay.
So it's going to be there. There is a sign up page that they ask people to sign up on. So if you go in there, we got the link in there. Go sign up.
I
See
did
if you
not
jump
know
in.
that, so I will do that.
And there you go. I unfortunately will not be able to because I unfortunately have a day job.
Me too. I'm going for lunch.
True. But you know, as being an entrepreneurial independent business, sometimes you're able to get a little bit more sway. Unfortunately,
Flexibility, yeah.
You get a little bit more flexibility. Unfortunately, I have a job that has a lot of meetings because management. But by all means, take a look. See the calendar. We're also tracking in there the story times. I don't have them all in there because I don't want to list them all in there. The ones I want to see if I list in there, and I'm tracking a few of them right now, but I only want to track the ones that and keep them in there if they've already got the attention of people, on the right. Because if auto activism it is a public open place, I don't want to list a listing of places as potential targets to make it easier for them. I'd rather they do the work. And if it becomes known that they're planning on going there, then I want to list it.
Yeah, we'll wait for Cookie Lady to put out.
Cookie Lady's our favorite. I hope her crumb gets better. Her
little chocolate chip.
Her little chocolate chip. So we always love the Cookie Lady. She does incredible work there, and I will always make sure to credit her whenever we're using her stuff because she definitely deserves it. But as Cookie Lady will definitely give us more information. A fun little thing that we wanted to mention was dear old Deana's finding her voice is still not strong enough with the megaphone in question. So we're having a bit of a fun little fundraiser and I will send out the link again to everybody if they want to contribute to this. Now we haven't really decided on which one, but I've gotten some initial sort of views into which particular
The only reason why we're doing this is because Crystal said at the end of her video that they were going to have a bigger microphone with a bigger speaker.
Yeah.
We're going to outdo them.
So Deana said she wants a bigger one.
I agreed.
She says,
I agreed with it. I didn't say I wanted it. I agreed with it.
No, you mentioned it. To be honest,
Well,
when it comes to me, it doesn't take much because for those who know me, a technical challenge is always something I will be sort of, all right, what's the problem? What are we trying to do? So in this particular case, Dina is like, I don't know if and the wording was, I don't know if my microphone's loud enough. I don't think I was able to be louder than than Crystal's. But Crystal also said the same thing. Now there was kind of a lot of loudness on
because we
both
were
sides.
like really far away from each other, I think.
You two were.
Yeah.
So how do we make sure Dina is going to be the loudest one there? So I've been doing some research in regards to some equipment that could do this. Now they range a bit in the price. There was, by the way, something even far more extreme than what I found here, like far more extreme. But it was in the $8,000 range, so it got shortlisted. Oh yeah. It was specifically 150.
I'm not looking
decibels.
for a car. Yeah, no.
No. This was 150 decibels. This thing is, if you're too close to people,
that's like a train horn, for fuck's sake. Like
higher than a train horn. You could cause serious hearing damage to anybody.
No, that's
with
not
this
cool.
thing.
Nobody wants that.
It's not cool, but it's handheld too.
I feel like my regular voice could do serious damage to people's eardrums, so we don't need to do that.
150 decibels is definitely a whoa for sure. I think, Mary Lee, that's just understatement there indeed. So no train horns are about 130 to 150. This one was 150 for sure. So
no,
what we do have, so we start off with this.
That thing's got to be like this big though. Like the one it must be like one of those ones that you stick on a really tall pole.
No. So right here, which you can't probably quite make out there, which I'm right now drawing on the wrong screen for you to see, right there, that's part of the strap. See, there's a strap that's here and here that goes on your shoulder. And
crazy.
This thing, it is a large
says 400.
Beast. This one is 400 plus taxes and everything comes up to 450. That's why I've got it listed in there as 450. Now, this guy is a big boy and he doesn't have very many features. The features he has is being loud as hell. You can hear it up to 2,000 yards, which is a great distance. And it comes to around 120, 130 decibels. It was 122 decibels because I researched it up on their site. There wouldn't be much, like I said. The next step up from this bad boy would be the $8,000.
Even 120 decibels is really loud. Like that's insane.
Agreed. This thing, you asked for insane. Or sorry, you didn't ask for insane, but you asked me. And I'm like, well, that's the only way I go. This is how I shop.
It's hilarious.
So this here is the loudest one in the world. And I'm just like, this is a potential. We'll toss up, see what kind of people kind of think about it. Now, the other one that I also found is this guy right here. And this one might be a little bit more compatible with you. It's actually 50 watts, while the other one was 45 watts. But the range is not quite as far. It's 1,600 feet. So it's not quite as an efficient design. But it's got a USB support. It's got a memory card port. You can load MP3s into it, so you can get yourself
to play music and stuff. Yeah. Playlist.
So you can get all sorts of sounds and things ready. Basically, all your usual chaos you'd want to do. Because we want to have a good time. We want to get the message out. We don't want to hurt people, as Mary Lee says.
Yeah. Or violate bylaws like Vaccine Baby is saying. Yeah, no, we don't want to do any of those things.
Yeah.
I don't want to get arrested out of town.
No. It's a fear that I have all the time traveling with you.
Putting the siren on, if it was like 120 decibels, would be that would like kill somebody's eardrums. No, it's terrible.
Well, only if you point it, only if you get really close to somebody. So 120 decibels at a short proximity, that could be damaging for sure. 120 decibels from a distance, you should be fine.
Mayor's asking if we can borrow or rent one from a music store. That's a good idea. It's not a bad
That's
idea.
not a bad idea. I asked our friend Clayton from the photo.
Oh yeah.
Because he does rent them, and I asked him where he rents them from, and I think I'll just need to poke him a little harder and say, where do you rent them from, just to find out. Because you know what, if we can get one of those bad boys for the next time,
Let's just see how it is
it-
first. Yeah, too.
I have no problems. We can if it rents out for like $30-$40. If people are
Yeah,
interested,
that's
we can try
better.
that out.
Yeah,
It is.
I don't need
And
more
you've
stuff
already,
in my house either.
That's absolutely fair. And you already said how if Camilla's going to be coming down, then you said you'd have the big megaphone.
She gets the blue one. She loves it. Me
So
too.
you're
I
gonna
love
see-
it. It was fantastic. Even Crystal
Yeah.
commented on the fact that I decorated it with the
Oh,
stickers that
absolutely.
I was given.
It had a lot of flair. It still has a lot of flair.
Gorgeous.
And we know Camilla will work with all that flair,
Mhm.
period. So that thing is not going anywhere. It is definitely still going to be used. So one of the other things I also wanted to bring up is a wonderful individual that some of you may have come across. And I bring him up because he's, with quite a bit of stuff has come around and whatnot. And I want to see if I can get some people to come take a look at him. So his name is, as I bring him back up, my homie Tutaro.
Oh yeah.
So he got a little bit of promise from a video that came around, which was a bit of, now he's a local to Peterborough, and he is he's a morning Twitch guy that will do a broadcast. Now, I will say, doing once a week show with Deana is a fair amount of work, particularly for both Deana and I. We, there's for an hour and a half, we have to prepare the content, we have to get stuff together, we have to discuss stuff, we have to get some stuff ready. It's a lot of work, and we're content doing it once a week because we kind of cover some of the stuff. If people are interested in more, we can discuss that. That's for sure. But it's a fair amount of stuff. He does it every morning, not just every day, but also every morning. So I'm a little bit impressed there too, because I'm just not that kind of a morning person. I'm not Deana, who's up at 3 a.m.
3:30. 3:34.
Yeah, because that made the difference. So he's there every morning, and he's done a wonderful job in regards to all sorts of things. I'm just going to go over his dead. So this is him here. He's been doing a fantastic job, and he did a fantastic job, like I said, deconstructing the entire thing. And he only started about 3 months ago. So in the span of 3 months, not only did he set up a channel, he got himself a wonderful following on and within Peterborough and the locals. He, and to think about it, he's been doing this a little bit longer than Deana and I. But in many ways, he surpasses in a couple of ways. Aside from doing a dedication, having a long time, getting a wonderful fan base, he's even had interviews with the mayor of Peterborough, the former mayor now, which is Diane Tyrion, and they had a nice long 1 hour conversation. I actually watched that entire video clip there. I read the entire thing, as well as he also had a nice, wonderful interview with Betty Baker herself. And that was absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, sad news for him. He also got cancer, which slowed him down in regards to his streaming and whatnot. But he's right now still fighting it. He's doing a fantastic job. And can I say right away, as somebody who's been affected by cancer in my family, fuck cancer. I was gonna say it. But he's starting back up. So if you're in the Peterborough area, or if you want to find another guy to go take a look in the mornings, go take a look about him. He's also got, since he's been doing most of this, since he's right now still working on chemo and whatnot, he's also got a Ko-fi set up if you want to kick him a couple of dollars and if you enjoy it. But by all means, go take a look at him, go follow him. He's definitely worth to take a look. And he's got a fair amount of stuff on his YouTube. Oops, as I'm right now learning how to stream myself. We got quite a few videos on YouTube. He's done some excellent pieces. His biggest one has been the one in regards to strange activism for Karima, which has brought him a lot of popularity.
Oh, that one was fantastic. He was on
It was
point.
He was absolutely
On
fantastic on point.
Point. Just
But
brilliant.
and he's been doing a fair amount since he's been started up. As I had a conversation with him, the activism from Karima has really piqued his interest and gave him some strength to come back into it. He even went to one
It's
of the
funny
local
the
networks.
shit that will inspire you to speak out again or get you off the couch or whatever it is, the saying that you want to say. Like, you see enough
The
injustice
kick
and
in your
you
ass.
and you're just like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not letting this shit slide. I'm back up. I'm doing this. And I really thank him for doing that because the way that he articulated what we all see here and the behavior that we're witnessing, he nailed it.
Oh,
Nailed it.
absolutely. He did a fantastic job. I mean, he went through it. He went through the activism. I even got the chance I saw the interviews, like I said, with Diane and with Betty. They were wonderful. They did some great work with them, asking them, and it was wonderful to see him go through it. He's done some more breakdowns. I didn't get a chance to go through the whole one in regards to his Your TV one, but the one I want to go take a look next myself is the Doug Ford one because, as we were just discussing it, he'd be an interesting one to. He's got some interesting views, I'm sure, in regards to Doug Ford, and if he broke it down as well as he did with Karima, this is something that's for sure he's gonna be good to go with. So, as it stands right now, I'll probably be sending him some money very shortly, just because A, he got some good information from there, and B, like I said, give him a follow. For those that are not there, let me just send you his Twitch as soon as I figure out where my mouse is, because you know what, I'm a horrible, mismanaged person who does not. And I will send it out to the chat for everybody to see right now. There we go. It's on there. And he's also got a YouTube. Let's go check it out. And that is it there. So I truly think he's going to be good there. And
Oh, you sent it out. Okay, cool.
I
In the
did
chat.
send it out.
Nice.
I did send it out to everybody. So I sent it out to everybody there. Hopefully you guys are going to be.
Okay. Do we have any more videos? No way.
We don't, except I have
Okay, that's
one
good.
additional video.
It's 11 o'clock. That's why I'm
It's
asking.
11 o'clock. I've got one last video, but this is going to be our closeout video.
Okay.
So this is sort of, because usually we try to have a happy story. This was a pretty good one in regards to my homie Tutaro. Oh, sorry, the last most important part where I feel I just almost forgot the punchline. Not the punchline, sorry, but the important part here. He is also tomorrow night going to be on James DeFiore's Black Bolt.
Oh,
and
Mike
he'll be
Toomey.
on there. Sorry?
You're talking about Mike Toomey.
Not Mike Toomey.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about our friend there, my homie Tutaro.
Oh, my homie Chitaro. Sorry. I don't know
Yes.
why I thought it was Mike Toomey.
So he will be on the show tomorrow night with James DeFiore, who's going to be having him as guest as well as Kareem Assad. So I know we have collectively a lot of feelings in regards to it, which I'm sure are very, very simpatico amongst each other. So just support. Let's support him so he's not alone. Is all I'm going to say. I talked to him. I asked him if he was sure, but he felt he was quite confident and comfortable. He can do this, and I said, then by all means, go for it. I think he's incredibly strong. He's also smart. He's articulate. We've everything I've seen in regards to it. So, I wish him the best in regards to it. I hope he does well. But I told him, if you feel uncomfortable with it, stick to your points, stick to what you know. But if it doesn't feel comfortable, there's nothing wrong with leaving. And that's it.
Let's see the video.
As for the last video, this is the one we're going to be signing off with tonight because we didn't have a final story. But as soon as we do that, we'll also be ending the stream. So this is going to be our our pre-ending.
Our farewell. Our farewell video.
Our farewell.
See you guys next
so,
week.
Again, exactly. See you guys next week. But this is also just a recap of if you show up, it makes a difference. So please, by all means, keep showing up. Keep making a difference, and this is what we get. Together, the more we get together, the happier we'll be. Your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be.
Never try to out-organize gays. We will always win.